When we talk about doership, am I the doer, am I not the doer? You know, oftentimes the question of free will and choice and destiny arises as well. You know, because if we really truly accept that everything arises in presence, that there isn't any body in particular, any particular separate entity that governs what arises here, then we also come eventually to accept that everything is predestined, that everything moves accordingly to some other plan that is not necessarily the plan of what we experience as the ego mind, ego body mind. So just to simplify, you know, because I like it to be very, very experiential, you know, when the sense of I is present, because the sense of I arises in presence like everything else. And like I spoke about before, the I really claims the arising experience. So it looks like, you know, when decision arises in presence, then the I arises as well and says, I decided. You know, we want to really look very closely, very, very closely to see that, you know, when a certain movement arises in presence, the I arises as well and says, I think we should go this way. However, you know, the I arises in presence, and so when the sense of I is present, and when it appears that we have a choice, because it's an appearance, it looks like we could go this way or we could go that way. I would say choose presence. You know, don't entertain that notion. Don't get lost in the mind. Don't get lost in that appearance that says we could do this or we could do that. You know, things are, in reality, things are very, very simple. They just are. If we really bring our attention to it, you know, like when you're looking for a decision in life, for example, and you look and there is no decision, right? It just is. You know, in the mind, in your thinking, we can think, I will go this way, I will go that way. What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? However, when finally decision arises in presence, then we can say, yeah, this is where it's going, right? So when choice arises in presence, when the appearance of choice arises in presence, when the sense of I is present and it looks like we have a choice, I say choose presence. Choose being here. Simply let down, simply abandon any notion of anything for now and just simply be here. Simply be here, just to see, just to notice what is actually present. I would be curious to hear in your comments, what is your experience of that? Do you have questions about it? What do you think? How does that work in your experience?